Russian Major General Ivan Popov, who commanded the 58th Combined Arms Army, believes the soldiers were stabbed in the back because of mistakes made by Russia's top military command. He announced his dismissal in a voice message, which was published in his Telegram channel by State Duma deputy Andrei Gorelov.
In the name of you, in the name of all our military friends who died, I had no right to lie. Therefore, I outlined all the problematic issues that exist today in the army, in combat work, in support. I called all things by their proper names. Ivan Popov, Major General, Commander of the 58th Combined Arms Army of the Southern District of the Russian Armed Forces.
According to him, he raised questions about the death of Russian soldiers as a result of shelling by Ukrainian artillery, about the absence of counter-battery combat, and the absence of artillery reconnaissance stations.
In this regard, apparently the senior commanders felt some kind of danger in me and swiftly, in one day of light, created an order from the Minister of Defense, removed me from the order and got rid of me. We were hit from the rear by our senior commander, treacherously and violently decapitating the army at the most difficult, tense moment. Ivan Popov, Major General, Commander of the 58th Combined Arms Army of the Southern District of the Russian Armed Forces.
Secretary of the National Security and Defense Council of Ukraine Oleksii Danilov said that there are at least 14 generals in Russia who sympathize with Yevgeny Prigozhin, not Vladimir Putin. There are also cases when the Russian military did not resist the Wagner troops during their short rebellion. Journalists from the Reuters agency talked with Russians who witnessed the rebellion of the Wagner troops. The publication writes that people support Prigozhin.
Я думаю, их больше это...
I think there are more of them. This is in principle the number of difficult ones to count, but obviously not 14. Well, they do not speak again, and Prigozhin and these generals did not oppose Putin. They opposed the leadership of the Ministry of Defense and the General Staff, specifically against Shoigu and Gerasimov. Therefore, it's as if the game of elites is really going on here. Mafia showdowns, and again, the more they shake each other, the faster the war will end. The faster Ukraine will liberate its territories and begin a peaceful life, and then won't be daily bombs fall on Ukrainian cities where civilians are killed.
Companies associated with Yevgeny Prigozhin continued to contract food supplies to schools and hospitals after the mutiny. After June 24th, the amount of 9 contracts amounted to 1,064 million rubles.
We see very well that after the so-called searches, Prigozhin was returned these billions which were allegedly confiscated. The whole game that was played in general for the world community, for part of the Russian elite to identify the fifth column, it worked, and in general we really will see in the near future all sorts of resignations, deaths, and in general rearrangements in the Russian elite, including its military unit.
Journalists from the Project publication interviewed dozens of former and current employees of Prigozhin's companies, as well as his acquaintances. They described the motive that prompted Prigozhin to revolt in one word: lost his nerve. Recall that on June 23, 2023, Yevgeny Prigozhin, his private military company Wagner, attempted an armed rebellion against the leadership of the Russian Ministry of Defense. A column of thousands of armed Wagner troops entered Rostov-on-Don. Another column was moving towards Moscow. During the day, the fighters managed to cover 780 kilometers, in fact without encountering resistance. Reported by Roman Smoler, Yulia Bil, UATV News.